Welcome to my new game plus playthrough for Silent Hill F. This will be for ending number 4. We're going to do this from a sci-fi where we've completed ending number 2 and ending number 1. Sorry for saying them back to front. Sorry, ending number 1 and ending number 2. It doesn't matter what endings, it's just got to be 2 full endings. So UFO ending doesn't count, so it can be either ending 1 and ending number 2, ending 1 and ending number 3, or ending 1, 2 and 3. Just need at least 2 full endings. As you can see, I've got the pill ending and the mask ending, just if you go by my symbols. Now we're going to do this on Lost in the Fog difficulty on action and puzzles. That should unlock the final difficulty related trophies we need, so make sure you pick them both. I'm just going to go with the default uniform. Yes, the puzzles trophies do not stack difficulty wise, but the action difficulties trophies do. So if you play Lost in the Fog, you'll get all the action trophies but difficulty, but for puzzles, you have to play on each difficulty for each playthrough because they don't stack for some reason. I think it's because you get new kind of like items and cutscenes depending on what puzzle difficulty you put it on. That's why they made it. They want you to play every single puzzle difficulty wise. So we're going to continue down the hill. We only need about 5,000 more faith and we can buy everything, but we've got what we need for the time being. So you come down Shrine and hopefully you got 3,000 faith and 1 EMA. Now buy that 5th and final Omamari slot. So there we go, 3,000 faith and 1 EMA. So I've now got 5 slots. And for my build, our build is going to be quite dynamic, guys. I'm going to be changing it up quite a bit, but I'll walk you through everything, don't worry. Of course, all in the text guide. So the build we're going for to begin with is we're going for Tanuki, Weasel, Wolf, Otter and Spider. I'll just pick that one more time. Tanuki, Weasel, Wolf, Otter and Spider. With the Otter, if you just keep rotating your weapons, you'll keep them all topped up durability wise. And Wolf, you only get increased damage when you've got high durability, which is above 70% normally. So when the weapon gets below 70%, swap to another in order to restore durability of your inactive weapons. We're going to be using most of our offerings as consumables. So try not to sell. The only things you want to be selling are offerings which are really expensive and you can't really use. I'm going to be selling sushi, but that's the only one I'm going to be selling which you could consume if you wanted to. And of course we'll be selling dried carcass, antique combs and shriveled abura when we find it. I'm not going for every single thing. I am avoiding a lot of stuff. All I want to do now is get through a game, but I want to pick up a lot of consumables along the way, guys, just to make it a bit easier, because of course we're on the hardest difficulty and we need to make sure we're prepared. Because we are collecting everything, well, sorry, not everything, but we are collecting a lot of stuff. You will eventually run out of space. Now, when it comes to discarding stuff, you do not want to use any red pills. Of course, for this ending, we can't use red pills. We do eventually need to purify the sword. We have to offer the brooch. You know, so just bear all them things in mind. But yeah, when it comes to discarding things, never discard divine water. Divine water is probably the most useful consumable we're going to be using. And try to save that for when I advise to use it. So it's not an unlimited number, so try using where I advise. Higashi really good as well because it gives you infinite stamina for 60 seconds. Again, this is all kind of noted in my text guide. We'll be getting immune because that increases your sanity, and with the Tanuki it's going to make it so it takes sanity damage. That's basically your healing. Yoken heal your health, but they heal you better than bandages, so we're going to be using them instead of bandages. And the tea, Kudzu tea, is good because it gives you health and sanity restoration for 20 seconds, which if you combine that with certain other Omamaris and consumables, it can make you almost invincible for 20 seconds, which can be useful. So with all that in mind, if you do have to discard something, guys, discard Yokens first and then Ramune and then Higashi if you need to. Keep Divine Tea with you, and Divine Water, not Divine Tea. Divine Water, always keep them, never discard them. And when it comes to the Kudzu tea, just always have probably a few on you, just so they're useful. They take up 1 slot per item, so you can't carry too many. But there'll be quite a lot going, so if I ever do use any, I'll show you where there's a few more to collect. So yeah, normally try to keep 1 or 2 tea on you. Like I say, never use your divine water unless I advise, and never discard them. And if you do need to discard things, discard Yoken first, then Ramune, and then Higashi's last. Any actual normal healing items like bandages or first aid kits, just get rid of them if you need to. Like I say, Yo can heal you better than bandages, and first aid kits take up too much space. Sometimes we are going to be using the Cuckoo on Mamori, increase your damage when you're in low health, so we don't necessarily want to be just increasing our health when it's low. But I'll walk through it all. Of course, make sure you don't use pills. So these pills you're going to get in a minute after escaping from the fog monster. Yeah, so I didn't walk through that, don't think I need to. But on Lost in the Fog difficulty, there will be some new tendrils appearing on the floor when you're escaping from him. There'll be a few more on the walls, which have a bit of a longer range on them. And sometimes there'll be some tendrils in the middle of your path, which you have to avoid when running from the fog monster, which we just did. But when you get them pills, remove them from your inventory, guys. You can discard them, so free up an inventory space. Do not use any red pills. If you do get any by mistake, it's a good idea to just discard them. That way you're not going to use them, are you, by mistake? I picked up the bandage. I picked up steel pipe. Like I said, I will pick up some bandages along the way, but they're probably like the least important item at this point, so I will be discarding them once I need. So bandage, steel pipe. A lot of things I'm going to be showing you where they are, just in case you're using more consumables than what I am. But like I say, never use divine water. You can afford to use some other things when I don't use them, but never use divine water unless I advise. Because a lot of these items are going to come in useful on the final boss as well. So we're going to try and make sure we've got enough. Final boss is pretty much like 6 fights. Well, it's 2 bosses, but each boss has 3 stages. So we need to kind of be ready for 6 fights. Now that enemy, just dodge away quickly to avoid her grab attack. If I do get hit, I'm going to take sanity damage. And by the way, when you rest at a shrine now, you will not have your sanity or health restored. That's one of the key things you need to keep in mind. But you can restore your sanity for a small fee. And that's where a lot of our faith will be going. So health can only be restored now by using healing items. Yeah, as an enemy there, be ready to dodge him. But faith you can restore at a shrine, but you have to pay. But it's not, like I said, it's not mega expensive, but we will be doing it quite a bit. But on certain levels, you actually start a level with full sanity and full health. So I'll try to point it out when that happens. Coming in next, this room at the top of the steps, grab a yoken from that drawer, spin around and examine this mask to find the key from underneath it. And at the end of this level, your health and sanity will be restored automatically, by the way. Yes, at the end of this level, you automatically get full health and full sanity. I've wrote all this in the text guide, by the way. You know, when your health gets restored automatically, how items can be useful, what to discard. I've wrote down all like little key points at the start. So in there, once you've got a key, if you quickly go straight to the back door, open it, you can escape that enemy before he gets a chance to attack, but you must be quick. Because if you're just like a second too late, it'll probably get a chance to hit you. You climb down the ladder, climb down this next ledge. Like I said, I'm not going to be going all the time out of the way. Sometimes I will go a little bit out of the way if it's something useful to collect, but yeah, not always. I do normally for divine water, but if it's just for like going out of the way for like an antique comb, yes, I might not necessarily do it. So you've got an antique comb there on the wall. Up here, you've got a shrine. I'm going to sell the antique comb. Yes, don't bother paying anything to get your faith back. Sanity. There's no need. Like I say, at the end of this level, you're going to have your health and your sanity restored, free of charge. Down here, unlock this small box. Inside, you'll find a antique comb. I believe that was a EMA back in playthrough 2. Yeah, grab that kitchen knife. Kitchen knife's probably one of the best weapons, so make sure you grab that kitchen knife just in that beneath that underpass. Grab the bandage, and I'm going to quickly dodge past that enemy. There we go. When there's a small opening, carrying on along here. You can grab toolkits, by the way, if you want to, and use them. But it's one of them items that's not mega important due to the otter on Memorial we've got. But if you do find any toolkits, you can take them and use them when you need to. Because if I do collect any, I'm probably going to discard them at some point. There's an enemy there, be ready to dodge it. Yeah, that one comes out of nowhere, so make sure you dodge that enemy. Once you cross this bridge, there'll be a yoken straight ahead. Yokens are used to heal up, guys, if you ever need to. I will be discarding them quite a bit later. So if you ever need to heal, use a yoken. That's for your health. Continue past them 2 enemies. In this box will be a Remune. Remune heal up your sanity quite a bit. Up here to the shrine, there's a baseball bat to the right. And at the shrine, I'm just going to sell that antique comb I found in that little box. Of course, I am going to be showing you everything required for trophies. But any kind of like documents that are not really needed, I might not necessarily collect. So 3 enemies here. Quickly take out the first one with 2 or 3 knife swings. Then get this next one again with 2 or 3 knife swings. And then this one at the back. They hit very hard now on Lost in the Fog, so be very careful, guys. I can sometimes kill all these by just spamming the button before I get a chance to attack. But yeah, not this time by the looks of it. So you're going to get control here. As I say, your sanity and health is restored. I think that's very, very useful to know when you're going to be getting full health and sanity. Because imagine just using loads of consumables to heal up, and then 5 seconds later, you get your health back anyway. So for this puzzle, so the stands at the back, I've labelled them, sorry, from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you want to put the fan. The fan wants to go on number 1. The vase wants to go on stand number 5. The mouse wants to go on stand number 4, the coat on stand number 3, and the fish on stand number 2. Now straight after, whenever you get a headache and stun for a moment, just dodge forward, guys, snap out of it, and keep running forward. So just one more time on that puzzle. So the fan wants to go on stand number 1. Like I say, I've labelled the stands from left to right, just numbered them. The fan goes on stand number 1, the vase goes on stand number 5, the mouse goes on stand number 4, the coat goes on stand number 3, and the fish, the little fishy, goes on stand number 2. So we're now in the shrine hall. I was going to avoid all of this because you can complete this area really quickly by just unlocking the door, grabbing the stone orb, and then running back to the far north entrance. But there's quite a lot of loot here, and there's literally no danger if you do it right, because if you unlock the door first, it despawns that big Demogorgon guy. Some enemies do spawn when you go to New Island, which only spawns in New Game Plus, but it's only like a screaming enemy, and it's quite easy to dodge past. Screaming enemy and a normal enemy, I believe, but they don't get a chance to catch up to you, so you just dodge past them, and they don't chase you very far either. So once you come through here, once you reach this middle shrine, go left and grab the Higashi. Higashi and Divine Water, by the way, last for 60 seconds. Kudzu tea lasts for 20 seconds, unfortunately. Yeah, it'd be nice if that lasted for longer. Even with the Omamori, which increases the effectiveness of health consumables or sanity, it didn't seem to change the duration. Still seemed to stay the same. And I did grab... Oh no, I didn't. I grabbed a Higashi. I was going to say a bandage, but that's next. So you got the Higashi. Continue on, guys, to here. Be another cutscene. Then going to continue east, following Fox Mask. You go over this bridge, and there'll be a bandage shortly on the right. Like I say, bandages are not mega important, because they're probably the first thing I'm going to discard. Yes, I got a bandage there. But I can pick it up. Come east over to this. Now we're going to unlock this door, because it will despawn the Demogorgon enemy. And there's a Yoken on the floor, by the way, near that shrine. Yes, grab that Yoken. So for this door, you want to turn the top one left 2 times. So turn the top left 2 times. Turn the middle left 1 time. And the bottom right 2 times. That's the icons you want, guys. So I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. Yeah, they're the symbols you want. Once some symbols are lined up, press X to confirm. So top one was a circle with 2 vertical lines. The middle one was a circle with an upside down Y. And the bottom one was a snake with the letter V. Once that door's unlocked, do not touch the stone orb yet. We're going to come back across here to the southwest, unlock this shortcut gate. Do not forget that Divine Water on the side of it. Divine Water, yes, not Divine Tea. Got it right this time. Yeah, grab the Divine Water, unlock the shortcut gate, and kind of continue going left. You'll come along here, grab the sushi. We're going to sell sushi. They're quite good. I mean, they give you full stamina, health, and sanity, sorry, but they sell for 150, so I just think that's a better use. Grab a sushi, grab that Higashi on the left, and then come over here, guys, to this large middle area, around this large tree. Sorry, southeast area. It's not near the middle, but yeah, around this big tree, and there'll be a small box inside. Will be a Higashi. I think this was a Omamori in New Game Plus. Was it the Shrew Mole? Am I remembering correctly? I think it was a mole in that one. But yeah, you find a Higashi in there now. Dodge past the screaming enemy. Now we're making our way over to the northwest corner, because over there is another divine water, a dried carcass, and there'll be 2 T's along the way as well, of course, and a Yoken. So I know you can get through this area really quick, but there's a lot of good items to pick up. If you use the correct consumables, by the way, and the correct Omamori, you can become invincible for about 20 seconds, which is nice. So grab that T, continue northwest. Yeah, make sure you grab that T. Once you get to this shrine, you want to go left, grab a Yoken, then go back towards the shrine and grab the T. Yeah, grab that T just there, guys. That's it. Continue over this bridge nearby. Go northwest for a little bit longer. There's the dried carcass on that rock. Down these steps and to the right is the divine water. That's all we need. Now we can go complete the area. So I normally sell the sushi and the dried carcass at this point, but I kind of forgot about it. And it did actually trip me up a bit later on, because when I did get to selling some items in the next area, I had 2 dried carcass and I was thinking, where did they come from? I should only have 1. And it's because I didn't sell it here. But it did take me probably a minute or so to realise what I'd done. So yes, when you get to shrine in a second, make sure you sell your dried carcass and the sushi. It'll free up 2 slots in your inventory. Like I say, I did forget here, but my intention was to do it. I just kind of forgot. So here we are. Sell the dried carcass, sell the sushi, then come up here and grab the stone orb. You can also save your game if you want to. There's no need to claim your sanity back, because after this area, you're also going to have your sanity and your health restored. Yeah, so after this, you're going to have full health and full sanity. So to keep running forward, when you hear the enemy getting close behind you, be ready to dodge to avoid it. You could potentially use a Higashi for this point to have infinite stamina, but you don't really need to. I mean, as you can see, you get time to just wait for a moment for it to replenish before you start running again. But my sanity is getting really low. Well, it's not a problem, so like I say, after this, you're going to have full health and full sanity. What you'll find is each time you switch between your normal form, the normal world and the dark shrine, you'll get full health back and full sanity. That's kind of how I'm looking at the moment. Yeah, when you switch between the dark shrine and the normal world, you always get your health and your sanity restored. But I'll keep an eye on that, guys, see exactly how it works going forward. Back in the town area, you're going to continue east, and then we're going to go north through this passage, grab a Rumune on the brick wall on the right. All the items on the left, we're going to get them on the way back down in the next video. Don't worry, they do not despawn when you come back here. They will still be available, so we'll grab them then. So yes, anything you think I've missed, I know there's a divine water there. We're going to get it later. I mean, for example, there's a Higashi there on the left. I'm going to leave out until later. There's another Higashi around the corner here. I'm going to leave out until later. But what I am going to take now is move this bundle forward, guys, and take out the sickle. The weapons we want to get 3 knives if we can. So the best weapons, 3 knives. But for now, I can make do with knife and some sickles. So after that cutscene, go east along the field, take the next left, then take the second right. So after cutscene, go east along the fields, along the marshes, first left and then second right, which is this right here. I'll show you on the map. So this is where you want to come down. This encounter coming up, by the way, if you do it in a very specific way, it's easy to do. But if you don't, you're going to have enemies you have to keep kill. So that enemy's going to try and grab you. You can try to perfect dodge him or just get his attention, run away, guys, until it stops and then run past. That's a bit of an easy way to do it. It's got to watch out for enemies behind, don't attack. Again, another enemy's going to try to ambush you. Get her attention, run away. That's it. And then once the attack's finished, just run past in an easy way. Why try to rely on a perfect dodge when you can just run away from them? Yeah, and mess up that timing potentially. Sometimes they can start to try to ambush you when you can't even see them. If you hear the scream, they're about to try and ambush you. So just run away when they hear the scream and you're safe. Now here, let's get ready for this. Okay, so my build for this, guys, is we've got the elephant, goat, tanuki, turtle, and if you've got one, blessed hand mirror. If not, don't worry, that 5th slot is kind of optional. But yes, elephant, goat, tanuki and turtle, and then in the 5th slot, anything up to you. But I'll just put blessed hand mirror just in case. A blessed hand mirror does come up again in the next video when we come back to this area actually, and we can just grab another one then. Now, what you want to be doing now, you'll be using a Kudzu tea in a second and a divine water. So make sure they're in the same kind of like quick slot window. So a tea and a divine water, we're going to be using them very, very shortly. Make sure you got that build, drop down, grab this Rumian, guys, and follow me very closely. Yeah, grab that Rumian there. Right, as soon as you pull the crank, it's going to trigger the big enemy. So we're going to straight away, we're going to use the divine water, which will last for 60 seconds, but also increase your defense when you've got Tanuki enabled. And then we're going to use a tea, and then quickly start turning the crank. So use divine water, and then a tea in that order, then start turning the crank. Now you should be able to withstand all the attacks now while you do this 3 times. It's a lot harder on Lost in the Fog as you see more enemies spawn, and they seem to reanimate quicker as well when you have killed them. The reason they're not doing more damage is because divine water actually increases your defense as well, because it has like a sanity damage reduction on it, so it works really well. But yes, just do that. Now quickly open the door, guys. They're still going to try and attack you. Open the door, press X again to push it open. Lift bundle the wood out way, and yes, that's a nice easy way to do that. Now jump out the window. I think that's one of them encounters where you have a lot of trouble with if you try to do it in a way where you're defeating the enemies. But that way it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about killing anything. You're just basically tanking their attacks. So as long as you set yourself up right, you can't really go wrong. So there's a shrine there. Save game if you need to. We're going to do a Scarecrow puzzle. Then once that's done, we'll make our way to the next area, guys, and that'll be it. So Scarecrow puzzle. This is the Lost in the Fog version. So it's going to be a few items in a few new places. So grab a sickle from the first Scarecrow. There's a sickle stuck in its arm. I'm just going to go back to my other build now, because if you take too long here or pick the wrong one, you might trigger some enemies. There can be enemies just like lying around, and they do start chasing you if you take too long or get too close. You don't necessarily have to pick the wrong Scarecrow. So the build now, we've got Tanuki, Weasel, Wolf, Otter and Spider. Tanuki, Weasel, Wolf, Otter and Spider. Like I say, take a sickle from a Scarecrow. Okay, so examine the first Scarecrow on the left that has an upside down head. First Scarecrow on the left that has an upside down head. This one here. The nail is just near its chest. Take out the nail, you get a card from Rinko. And then now, of course, we need to head in the direction where Scarecrow is going to point us. On the way there, you should find a Yoken. And there will also be a Rumian once you reach the Scarecrows to the left. So follow the direction it's facing in. Like I say, there'll be a Yoken along the way, which we're going to collect. So try to make sure you're heading in the right direction. If you're just a little bit out, by the time you get to the Scarecrows, you'll be a lot more out. Yes, that's a Yoken, guys. Just now, bale of hay and little sticks. Grab a Yoken, and then once you reach the Scarecrows, the Rumian should be on your left. And where it is, there it is. So there's a Rumian just on your left. And then just back to the front Scarecrow. Now, for this one, Scarecrow puzzle number 2, examine the rear Scarecrow. There'll be a sickle in the floor beneath it, and its head will be looking down with its arms out, and it's in like a hanging pose. There you go. The rear Scarecrow with a sickle stuck in the floor beneath it, and its head down in a hanging pose. Take out the nail stuck in its shoulder. And now we're going to make our way to puzzle number 3. For this one, there's going to be a dried carcass, which we're going to collect. So again, of course, make sure you go in the right direction. There might be more items. These are just the only ones I found. I did have a good look around. There's also going to be an antique comb to grab near the end. So on puzzle number 3, you'll grab the dried carcass. So here we are. Dried carcass is near this carriage on the left. Okay, now for this one you want to examine the back right unarmed Scarecrow with the upside down head. So back right unarmed Scarecrow with the upside down head, this one here. And the nail will be stuck beneath its armpit. So pull out the nail, you get card from Rinko number 3. Again, now we want to head in the direction this one's facing. Now this next one, puzzle number 4, there's a bandage and a toolkit which you can find, but I'm just going to avoid them. Yeah, you can find a bandage on the way there, and I think there's a toolkit near the actual Scarecrow's location. Yes, as you make your way to puzzle 4. That might be the bandage in that box, I can't quite remember. I think that box is empty. I'm sure the bandage was somewhere else. It might be that one. Can't quite remember. I did find him once and I just decided to leave him. So it's only a bandage and a toolkit. But yeah, for this puzzle, so examine the middle right Scarecrow looking across its right arm and its left arm is twisted. This one here. The nail will be on its stomach. Pull out that nail. That card from Rinko number 4. Now one more to go. This last one has a antique comb. But you actually find it near one of the Scarecrows. This next one works a bit different. You have to, there'll be some Scarecrows on the floor, like corpses, kind of twisted, and you have to follow the way the arm is pointing. And the 4 corpses on the floor, once you follow them, they'll eventually lead you to the proper Scarecrow you need to pull out the pin on. So make your way over to puzzle number 5. So from the front Scarecrow, go to the ones on the right, and you're near the carriage, and look for this corpse on the floor. You see that corpse? And now you can hear some Scarecrows following me. So I'm going to follow that corpse, the arm it's pointing to the next one. Again, that's corpse number 2. Follow its arm to the next one, corpse number 3. Follow its arms to corpse number 4. And at corpse number 4, there will be an antique comb. So there's corpse number 4, but I want to grab this antique comb first. There you go. And the corpse number 4 will point to this final one. Let's go, the final Scarecrow. Quickly pull out the nail on its shoulder. There we go. And any Scarecrows chasing you, like the ones you can see behind her, they normally stop moving once you look at them. They only move when they're off camera. And once spawn here, guys, head over to shoot. And that'll be it for that video. Yeah, ready to start the corridors and the boss fight in the next one, which is going to be nice and easy, this boss fight with myself. So thanks for watching. That's part 19 done, and I'll see you in part 20 tomorrow.